Hello and welcome. My name is Carrie Williams. I am with NothingPink. We are a nonprofit based in Rockville, South Carolina, and serving North and South Carolina. Our mission is to create awareness of hereditary breast and gynecological cancers and provide personalized support to individuals at high risk. So today we are thrilled to be joining with the In Our DNA South Carolina Community Health Research Project. We have Alex King with us, who is a research coordinator. Thanks for being here, Alex. And we're excited to learn more about the free genetic testing program that you guys offer.
Sweet. Well, thank you so much for having me out here. Like she said, my name is Alex King. I'm from Cottageville, South Carolina, and I've worked at MUSC for about 3 years now. When they announced this program, I got super excited about it, wouldn't stop talking about it, applied, and luckily they hired me to do just that. So I'm here to tell you all about our program and see if it's something for you. We've had a great partnership with NothingPink so far, so really excited to be here. That said, I think what we'll do is I'll kind of give an overview of the program. We'll kind of run through this PowerPoint presentation together to give you a little bit more understanding of why we would do something like this. And then we'll talk a little bit about insurance and cost, and we'll go from there. So real quick, just a general overview of the program is this is the In Our DNA SC Community Research Project. It's a new research study at MUSC. It's been going for 2.5 years, and it's going to keep going for 2.5 more. And we're providing free genetic screening to 100,000 South Carolinians. How it works is that as long as you're 18 or older and have never had an allogenic bone marrow or stem cell transplant, you qualify for our program. Allogenic just meaning someone else's cells. So if you had that transplant and used your own cells from your own body, that's okay. That doesn't disqualify you. Anyone who meets those criteria can sign up on our website, and then we can either mail a test kit to your home, or you can meet us at certain MUSC locations. Either way, you're going to provide a saliva sample. For a lack of better words, you're going to spit into a tube, and we'll read that DNA. We'll let you know if you were born with a higher chance for things like breast, ovarian, or prostate cancer by looking at the BRCA1 and 2 genes. We'll also look at a few genes for Lynch syndrome, which is correlated with early onset colorectal cancer, and then as well endometrial cancers, pancreatic cancers, and gastric cancers. And then we'll also look at a few genes for familial hypercholesterolemia, which is just a certain type of hereditary high cholesterol. Participants will receive a free ancestry and personal traits report from Helix. It is a regional ancestry report, so it won't give you the names of relatives or anything like that, just a map of the world and highlights those different regions that correlate the most to your background. And then the personal traits report is I like to call it the silly stuff. It's, what kind of earwax do you have? Are you more of a distance runner or a sprinter? Can you taste cilantro? Things like that. And then anyone who tests positive, anyone who comes back with a pathogenic variant of one of these genes, anyone who was born with a higher chance for those conditions is offered a free genetic counseling session at MUSC. And you sit down with a genetic counselor for a whole hour. They're kind of going to go over what it means to test positive. They're going to go over things to look out for, things you can do to prevent disease, ways to talk to your doctors and your family about this, and ways to get additional testing or additional care if you need it. That's where the study ends. So if you sign up and you test positive and you get that free counseling session, that is the end. Any other follow-up that you're looking for after that, that is something that, that is up to you and that you can seek out with the advice and with the counseling that you're provided. But that's sort of where our study draws the line. But still, for this to be a completely free program that anyone in the state can sign up for and do entirely online and from home, this is a first of its kind program, and it is the largest research study in South Carolina history. I think that it's really amazing, and I'm really excited to tell you a little bit more about it. So with that, we'll get into this PowerPoint. I have an official script that I will be reading from, and then I'll kind of jump in with anything I think that needs mentioning. So right here, I'll say that NourDNASC is a community health research project being conducted by the Medical University of South Carolina in partnership with Helix, a leading population genomics company. Personalized medicine is a growing field, and the Medical University of South Carolina believes it can transform healthcare. The approach customizes healthcare to the individual and looks at a patient's genetics, environment, and lifestyle. Genetic screening is a key part of this approach. Being a leader in defining this path is at the core of the Medical University of South Carolina's mission. And one thing to note is that idea of personalized medicine. And so that goes hand in hand with genetic testing. It's figuring out, what care options work best for you based on how your body is built. There are certain medications that just work better for some people than for others. And we're getting to the point where we can sort of identify those factors and those medications. So that's also going to be a big part of what the research from this study is used for. Genetic screening can help patients understand their risks for certain conditions, such as common cancers and heart disease, and learn ways to take action to improve their health. Taking action to improve health can help reduce the risk of developing disease. Families can discover any health risks they may share by using genetic testing. Again, this idea is to figure out what works best for you and your care. And we'll talk a little bit about the statistics of that in a second here. The NourDNASC research project is a partnership between the Medical University of South Carolina and Helix, a leading population genomics company. NourDNASC hopes to enroll 100,000 participants with services offered at no cost to the individual. The goal of NourDNASC isn't only to improve our health, but to help improve the health of generations to come. Participation in the study is easy. South Carolina residents 18 years and older can enroll by completing an online consent form, then providing a saliva sample for DNA testing. And I do just want to highlight that the program is entirely free. From sign up to that genetic counseling session to getting those reports from Helix, that is all free. If at any point you ever do see some cost associated with the study, give us a phone call and we'll take care of it and we'll get that taken out, because that's not something that's supposed to happen. Again, that follow-up is up to you and your insurance company, but anything before then is free. The NourDNASC program will screen for 3 conditions: hereditary breast and ovarian cancer, Lynch syndrome, also known as hereditary colon cancer, and familial hypercholesterolemia. If someone has one of these conditions, there are preventative measures that someone can take to help reduce the risk of developing disease. Participants get screening results for these conditions, plus insights on regional ancestry and wellness traits through their optional, no-cost Helix patient portal. And again, those conditions that we're looking for, these are CDC Tier 1 conditions. These are conditions that the CDC believes, every American has a right to know if they were born with a higher chance for. And the big reason for that is because many of these are preventable. So if you learn that you have a higher chance for breast cancer and you are BRCA positive, and let's say you're 22 years old, well, we can go ahead and start getting you mammograms much earlier on in life with that confirmed variant. So that way you can start getting tested earlier. Same thing with Lynch syndrome. It's kind of hard to get your hands on a colonoscopy before the age of 45. But if you have a strong family history, and if you've got this genetic test to sort of prove that you have a higher predisposition, we can get you in there and we can get you tested much sooner than we could otherwise. And genetic screening can make a difference. 1 out of every 75 participants may learn they're at a higher risk for common cancers and heart disease. Screening based on current medical practice or family history alone can miss about 90% of at-risk individuals, so genetic screening is important. Participants can share the results with family members to start the conversation about genetic health risks and how to prevent and manage disease. The health information that you get back does go into your MUSC medical record, and that's something that we can work with you to help send to all of your primary care physicians or any physicians who are relevant as well. By offering genetic screening at no cost, NourDNASC hopes to empower the South Carolina community with knowledge of their genetic health. Patients who receive positive results are eligible for a session with an MUSC genetic counselor at no cost to the patient. Genetic counselors are professionals in the field of genetics and can provide guidance for positive patients on their results, care management, referrals, and testing for family members. Receiving results from DNA testing shouldn't be intimidating or lonely. In our DNASC study, team members are available to provide insight on results and resources for both positive and negative patients. You'll only get the phone call and the genetic counseling session if you test positive, but even if you test negative and still want help clarifying what that means, you're always welcome to give us a phone call or an email, and we'll happily talk you through the lab report that you receive back from Helix and help you understand that. I've gotten plenty of calls like that before. In addition to empowering participants to learn more about their health through DNA, the In Our DNASC research project also promotes future genetics and genomics research initiatives. Genomic information provided by In Our DNASC, participant sample, and information from their medical records will be stored in secure and privacy-protected databases that will be available for researchers in the future. We recognize that many communities have concerns about research due to the lack of transparency and inappropriate use of data, but our hope is that working with community organizers and trusted leaders that we can build trust and partnership. Additional information in regards to transparency and data security can be found on the inourdnasc.org website and in the frequently asked questions section of the website. I highly recommend our FAQs for anyone who's interested in the program. Just read over them. They're a nice, good overview of the study. And then our consent form goes into explicit detail about all of everything that I just mentioned. It's 17 pages long. There's a lot to read over there, and you're always welcome to give us a call for clarifying questions. But the big idea here is that you're one person signing up for this program, and maybe you'll have 2 family members sign up with you. But really, with 100,000 people total signed up for this program, you're giving researchers at MUSC so much data to work with to not just explore these 11 genes that we're screening for and giving you a report back on, but for a multitude and a myriad of different conditions for them to now have this huge data set to work with. And more specific than that, it's regional. This is a South Carolina focused program. You don't have to live in South Carolina to sign up for it, but the vast majority of people do. And so we have a huge data set of just your neighbors and community members, so that we can really see, what's environmental, where are we seeing these bigger issues? Is there something more at play here? And it's really interesting work, and I'm excited to see where it goes. Signing up to participate in the In Our DNASC research study is quick, easy, and at no cost to the individual. By visiting the inourdnasc.org website, prospective participants can learn about the project, read frequently asked questions, and review and electronically sign the consent form. While completing the consent form, participants will be asked to indicate their preference for sample collection. In Our DNASC is currently offering in-person sample collection as well as at-home collection, where a sample collection kit is mailed to a participant's home and returned to Helix directly for testing. Once a participant completes and signs their consent form and provides their sample, results will be returned to the patient's medical record in about 8 to 12 weeks, 2 to 3 months. During this time, participants may also create a Helix account to receive their ancestry, personal traits, and health-related DNA insights. You can sign up entirely from home, have a kit mailed out to you, provide your sample and mail it back, and get your results 2 to 3 months later entirely online. If you test positive, you'll receive a phone call from our team to help set up the rest of that follow-up. If you test negative, just keep an eye out for those emails from Helix and MyChart letting you know when your results are ready, so that way you can investigate them and take a look. And again, give us a phone call. We're happy to chat it out. If you're interested in participating in the In Our DNASC program, please visit the website using the link or the QR code. This program is an excellent opportunity to improve healthcare for you, your family, and our community. And that's the end of that little PowerPoint. And the last little note I want to throw in there is just a question I always get is, how does this affect insurance and things like that? So when you're signing up for this program, you are signing up for genetic screening and for a research study. You are actually donating your DNA to MUSC and our research partner Helix. It's not 100% of your genetic code. It's about 1 to 2% is what we're going to keep on file. It's your exome, so the medically relevant portion of your DNA, and then a little bit of your mitochondrial DNA as well. And the researchers are just going to be comparing your sample to everyone else's, seeing what's in common, seeing what's different. It's a research study. It's 100% voluntary. You always reserve the right to withdraw. You sign up and you no longer wish to be a part of that research, just give us a phone call and we'll take your information out. But that being said, in 2 to 3 months, when you get your results back, the health information goes straight to your medical record. And once it's there, it can be pretty difficult to remove, if not impossible. Insurance companies can view your medical record. But in 2008, the federal government passed a law called GINA, spelled just like the name, and that made it illegal for health insurance companies to use genetic information against you. So even if you were to sign up for this program and you do learn you tested positive for a higher chance of breast cancer, it's against federal law for a health insurance company to use that against you. You're protected from health insurance companies. What you're not protected from are life, long-term care, and disability insurance companies. If you sign up for this program and test positive and you try to go get a new life insurance policy, they could outright deny you or charge you more money for that policy. If you've already got those policies in place, they don't tend to change them. It's just when you're trying to get a new one, that's when they're going to request access, and that's when they're going to be able to use that, deciding what sort of policy to give you. And that's just something that we're very upfront and clear with folks about. We don't want you getting surprised or shocked about this down the line. It's in our frequently asked questions. It's a big part of our consent form. So definitely make sure if you're in the process of getting some of those, you get it first and then sign up for a program like this or for other genetic testing. I think that ends that.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Alex. I really appreciate all this information. I think that it is so important to be a part of research so that we can provide, as patients, as the community, that we can provide a more research material so that there can be advances in screening, in treatments, and hopefully finding a cure. So I did get my kit and have already sent in my sample. I will say it was very easy. The longest part was reading the consent pages, as most things are. But spitting in the tube and mailing it back was very easy, and setting up the online portal access and everything with Helix has been easy as well. So I am awaiting my results. I know that I have the BRCA mutation, but I did not get a larger panel done at the time of genetic testing. So I'm curious to see if there's any more information that can help me get ahead and be more informed of my health situations, and if I need to increase screenings in any way. So I appreciate your time. Thank you all for joining us. And if you are looking for more information, visit us on nothingpink.org and connect with us there. We would be happy to assist in connecting you with this program or with other resources if you are facing hereditary breast and GYN cancers, or if you'd like to know more about genetic testing and screening. We thank you for your time.